Hi children, this is Sudhir Kumar from Sudhir Physics Classes. Today our topic is helical path. That means motion of a charged particle in magnetic field. This is one of the case. In part 1 I have already discussed. Part 2 also I discussed. So when a charged particle is entering into a magnetic field, it is exerted. Magnetic field will exert some force on the particle, and due to that force, the direction of the particle will change after entering the magnetic field. So we discussed that when it is entering perpendicular to the field, the particle moves in a circular motion, and when it enters parallel to the field, the motion is not affected because the force acting on the particle will be zero. But this is the case when particle is entering at an angle theta, which is neither equal to 90 degrees nor equal to 0 degrees. Let us start this discussion first. So I am considering a magnetic field here, a uniform magnetic field B bar is existing. A charged particle of charge Q and mass M. Let us say there is a charge Q and mass M. A particle is entering the magnetic field now with a velocity V. This is V. So this is entering at an angle theta with the direction of field. This is a direction of field. This is a direction of velocity. With respect to field, it is making an angle theta. So now this particle will be moving in helical path. That is our discussion now. So now what happens? I will resolve this velocity. So horizontal component will be V cos theta, and vertical component will be V sin theta. Therefore, this velocity is dissolved into the two components. A part of the velocity is acting parallel to the field. A part of other component of the velocity, we are taking the perpendicular to the field. This is the direction of field, this is the direction of velocity. It's perpendicular. So now what happens? Suppose if I take this V cos theta. See, the magnetic field is in this direction, B bar. And V cos theta is in this direction. The angle between them is 0 degrees. And you all know that force acting on a particle is given by B, Q, V, sin theta. B is the magnetic field, Q is the charge, V is the velocity, theta is the angle between the magnetic field and as well as the velocity. But here the velocity is V cos theta, and angle between the magnetic field and the velocity is 0 degrees. So therefore V becomes V cos theta, and this theta becomes 0 here, and hence the force acting will be 0. Therefore the component V cos theta, is not at all affected by the magnetic field, and hence a horizontal motion is caused. And this V cos theta will be maintained constant because the force is 0. So therefore the particle has to move in horizontal motion because of V cos theta. Coming to V sin theta. Now this is the direction of magnetic field and this is the velocity component. They are perpendicular to each other. B bar, V sin theta. They are perpendicular. That means the velocity is perpendicular to magnetic field. So this is also we discussed in the part 1 and part 2, that whenever you have a vertical magnetic field, so the magnetic field is inward here. The particle is entering like this with some velocity. What is the angle between the magnetic field and velocity? This is a magnetic field, this is a velocity. What is the angle? 90 degrees. So what happens? When a particle is perpendicular to the magnetic field, we discussed that it moves in a circular motion. It moves in a circular motion. So here also, but magnetic field is here inward, but here the magnetic field is along x-axis. particle is entering perpendicular to the magnetic field. Here also particle is, let us say, V sin theta is perpendicular to magnetic field. Therefore, this V sin theta must cause a circular motion. This V sin theta must cause a what? Circular motion. So therefore, the particle has to move, take both motions. Horizontal motion due to V cos theta. Vertical component will cause a circular motion by V sin theta. So circular motion and as well as a linear motion, both has to be taken place. So circular motion and linear motion. So how it is possible? So it will take in the circular motion and as well as it is move forward. That is known as helical path. See, for example, if this is a magnetic field, this is a magnetic field. The particle V sin theta is there, no? That is now perpendicular to the field. So therefore, it will cause a circular motion like this around the magnetic field, because V sin theta is perpendicular to magnetic field. What about V cos theta? V cos theta cause a linear motion. So now what happens? The particle has to take a circular motion and it has to move forward. It has to take a circular motion and as well as a move forward, both horizontal and circular motion. So how it is possible? That is called helical path. So I must say the particle goes like this. And then it leaves the magnetic field like this. This is called helical path. Horizontal motion as well as circular motion, both. Right. So now our discussion is about helical path only. So what are the possible questions that can be asked from this helical path? What they will ask? Let us see. This distance AB, this distance AB is known as pitch of the helical path. That is called pitch of the helical path. So we have to determine the pitch of the helical path. This is radius of the helical path. So I have to determine the radius of the helical path. Okay, in order to find the pitch of the helical path, it's a horizontal distance. So horizontal distance is equal to horizontal velocity into time, because there is no acceleration here in horizontal direction. No force is acting. So V cos theta into time. What is the time? Time taken to complete one revolution. That is called time period. So I must know the time period of revolution now. Then I can do P, that is nothing but AB, is equal to V cos theta into time taken to complete one revolution. I have to do it. So therefore I have to consider circular motion first. Now from there I have to find the time period, and from the time period again V cos theta into time period will give you the pitch of the helical path. In meanwhile we will be finding the radius of the helical path also. So coming to the circular part of the motion. So which velocity is causing circular motion? V sin theta. So whenever particle is causing circular motion, you know the centripetal force must be equal to the force exerted by the magnetic field. That is the condition. So what is the centripetal force? M V square by R. Centripetal force means the force acting towards the center of circular motion. Anyhow, when it is causing circular motion, you know particle has to enter perpendicular to the field. Then only it causes a circular motion, and then you will write centripetal force is equal to mv square by r. And this centripetal force must be provided by the force due to magnetic field. That is B Q V sin 90. Okay, let me see now. The which velocity is perpendicular to magnetic field? V sin theta is perpendicular to magnetic field, so this will cause a circular motion. Therefore, V must be substituted as V sin theta. So this is nothing but V sin theta whole square. Here also BQV sin theta I will get. Particle is entering perpendicular to the field. The force acting is equal to BQV sin 90. BQV sin theta. BQV sin 90, fine. But what we have to take? This V. So V sin theta. So V must be written as V sin theta into sin 90. V sin theta into sin 90. Sin 90 is 1. So this is magnetic force is equal to centripetal force. So I can cancel one V here and one sin theta also here. From this I can find the radius of the helical path, which I told you. Next I have to find the time of one revolution, that is time taken to complete one revolution there. Time period, both I will do from here. So first, radius of the helical path. So the radius of the helical path is mv sin theta by bq. This is the radius of the helical path. This is one of the possible questions that can be asked in the exams, the radius of the helical path. Next, I want to calculate the time period of the circular motion. From this condition only I will do. I will find out V, and V is equal to R omega I will write, and then from omega 2 pi by T I will write, and then find time period. Subject to V now. So V is equal to BQR by M sin theta. V is equal to BQR by M sin theta. But I'll write V is equal to R omega. So R omega is equal to BQR divided by M sin theta. R gets cancelled. Omega I got. Omega I will write it as 2 pi by T. This is nothing but BQ by M sin theta. Now I can find time period. So T is equal to, subject to T, 2 pi M sin theta by BQ. So I got the time period now. So time period of revolution, time period of a helical path I have found, radius of the helical path I have found. Finally now, pitch of the helical path. Okay. So the pitch of the helical path, that is nothing but a horizontal distance. So the pitch of the helical path, P, that is nothing but AB, that is the horizontal distance, horizontal velocity into time of one revolution, that is V cos theta into time of one revolution. This is only time of one revolution. This is V cos theta. Time of one revolution is 2 pi M sin theta divided by BQ. Now let me write P now finally. Here is 2, okay, sin theta cos theta. What is 2 sin theta cos theta? Sin 2 theta. 2 pi M, V is left out. 2 pi M V. Oh, 2 already I have used. Okay, right. Pi M V. Pi M V. 2 sin theta cos theta is sin 2 theta divided by BQ. So this is the pitch of the helical. So 3 points: pitch of the helical path, radius of the helical path, time period of the helical path. These are the possible questions that he can ask in the exam from this helical path motion. Thank you.